She's dead. Wrapped in plastic.
Welcome to the Twin Peaks Podcast.
Damn good coffee. And hot. Would everyone please take a seat?
Hello and welcome to the Twin Peaks Podcast. I'm Matt. Mel's not here.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Bing.
Or are you Billy? It depends on who you ask.
The transcript says Bing.
It does. But everyone swears Billy. And today we're joined by a guest who I'm sure has been on before this time. Tammy.
Yeah. Hey, I wasn't on the show itself. I was, I want to say,
It was the Diary of...
The Diary, yeah.
Yeah. That counts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Why not?
So... would you describe yourself as like a longtime fan or a mega fan of Twin Peaks, the old show?
No.
Just a casual fan?
I watched it when you guys started putting out the podcast. So I watched it along with you guys, and then, I don't know. It's an interesting show. There are things I like, things I don't like.
Are you talking about the old one or the new one now?
Both.
Okay. Okay, that was my next question. What do you feel about the new one so far?
I think it's getting better. Mm-hmm. I actually enjoyed this episode, whereas some of the other ones I can't really say that I did.
Yeah.
So, but I don't, I know we're not getting a lot of people from the original Twin Peaks, and it seems like people are not happy with that. But I don't mind it if it's going to be its own story and only follow really Dale, and we just get hints of the old Twin Peaks, that's fine too. I'm okay.
Well, good for you. I'm not fine with it.
You know what I say to that? Fuck you, Tammy.
Bring it.
What was your name again? Tammy. Fuck you, Tammy.
Yeah, exactly.
I still have that image saved on my phone, or ready to text at any time.
I thought about that when I was watching it. I was like,
oh yeah,
that's gonna happen.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got late feedback that came in just a little bit too late for episode 6. If you want to cue that up, Brad, it's from Chris JC, and it's got a note attached that says, "Prepare for old man style failure to turn recording off at the end."
Oh, delightful.
So this is for episode 6.
Hello folks, I have no plan for this, and so I'm gonna wing it. I know you often hear from people called Chris, and you often hear from British dudes, so I just thought I'd combine those concepts and send you this, being a British dude called Chris. That's me, the person sending this. So Lynch killed a kid. It was indeed only a matter of time, and normally that's a thing I bizarrely like on television. I don't like it. I don't like children to be killed, but it's always a bit... It feels like you're dealing with something slightly more hardcore when they allow it to happen. Although, this is a year where even Doctor Who had a kid killed by a gigantic fish thing living under the frozen Thames in the past. So perhaps it's just the in thing. Next TV season, dead kids everywhere. Also, I love that kid was hit dead centre by a truck with a wide wheelbase and still ended up with a tyre mark all the way up him. I have no idea how that happened, but there you go. Although, interestingly, after that, with old Cole Rod, Harry Dean Stanton seeing the, for want of a better word, soul leaving, and then all the electricity and the Fat Trout Park and the typography of the 6, and all the Fire Walk With Me stuff, it puts me in a weird position that I'm not used to, which is the position of thinking that Lynch actually knows what he's doing.
Whoa.
And that can't be right. This is surely something that Mark Frost has made sense of later. But there you go. Lovely to see Harry Dean Stanton again. Completely baffling to anyone who didn't consider Fire Walk With Me to be part of Twin Peaks and not worth watching, but there you go. And also, considering he's 400 years old now, it's nice to see confirmation of the notion that as you get older, your ears just carry on going, because he is just like a big old puppy dog now. Other stuff I liked in this, as with many people, and I know one of your number is a writer, that's fine, but as with a number of people who are scared of doing actual, honest, physical work, I've considered getting into writing, but I know for a fact I couldn't put a narrative together. That means that I've always had little ideas of scenes I'd like to do, and it turns out that in the end they become scenes I'd like to see. And bizarrely, I have actually always wanted to see a scene where someone flips a coin in the air and it just stays there for too long. And I wasn't expecting to ever see that, and there it was. And of course, another scene I've always wanted to see is a sandwich eating scene, bookended by completely identical shots of Naomi Watts eating a crunchy sandwich. One thing I'm not sure I wanted to see was Diane, but we have seen Diane, although in a series with a Mike and a Bob and a Bobby and two Chets and all of the other people. This would be a fantastic swerve if it was just a completely different Diane. It's probably not. It's like Diane Evans. Strange. Must be Welsh. I didn't entirely love the episode. There's I don't mind Marion, the woman with a pie with a name on it, but she's got that whole scene has got that kind of self-consciously kitschy fake 50s talk that you get in things like Heathers or some of the Tim Burton movies. I do like Heathers, but it really clanks on this. And also in terms of bad writing, Chet is about the least subtly written dickbag I've ever seen in anything that wasn't aimed at 6-year-olds. If he's not just like... he's Gargamel levels of subtle as a character. Terrible. But there you go. That's about it. I'm still liking it, even though it's slow. But a thought occurred to me recently that anyone who is criticising this series for being slow-moving cannot justify that, because if you look at the promotion, you were warned the whole time. Go back and check any bit of promotion about this series, and you'll find it's called Twin Peaks, a limited event series. Thanks.
Oh, still going, still recording. Turn that recording off, old man.
Nice.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Chris, and we'll hear from him again later. What he mentioned there about the identical shots of the sandwich eating, that's something I was going to bring up for this episode. And it happened in the previous episode a couple times. It happened with the sandwich eating, and it happened with the 119 thing. I'm pretty sure that was the exact same shot. And then it happened in this episode where we get the same shot of Norma with her papers in the booth, and we get, actually, skipping to the end here, but we get two separate shots of Double R patrons, and we have one establishing shot with some Double R patrons. We cut to Norma. We cut back to that same angle. It's completely different people. So it's like, I don't know if he didn't exactly know what he was going to want when he was out there filming, and he didn't have enough footage to make what he ended up wanting work without some creative editing, but it's just kind of strange. So let's start into episode 7, which opens with the scene Jerry in the woods.
I love Old Man Jerry so much.
Yeah. He still feels like Jerry to me. Like, both him and Ben, they both feel like they have a good handle on their characters still.
Yeah.
At first, I forgot he was like high all the time in this series already, and I was Like, did he have a stroke? What is happening to Jerry?
You could say that about many Twin Peaks characters. Have you had a stroke?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, he's high all the time, you would think, since he's in this business, but it seemed to be a new sensation to him, the way he was reacting.
And also to the way Ben reacted to him as well.
Yeah. I think I'm high. Wouldn't you know by now what high feels like?
Maybe he had some bad mushrooms.
Maybe. And I wonder if his car is actually stolen or if he's just lost. But yes, I hope he doesn't, die of exposure in the woods.
Oh.
So...
What he needs is a shovel.
He needs to dig himself out of
Not
that
just
shit.
any shovel.
Yeah. One of them golden ones.
Really want another clip of Jacoby.
Oh, I hope we're not done with him. I hope we're not done with all these people, yeah. Then we cut to the sheriff's station, and guys, they're moving plot forward.
Oh, I think you mean Hawk is moving plot forward yet again.
Yeah. True. But, like, we're actually getting lore and, like, info dumps and...
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is the show?
I know.
Okay, I loved it. Like, they mentioned so many things. They mentioned Annie, they mentioned Harold, they mentioned Leland getting arrested for killing Jacques Renault. I mean, some people didn't like this because of that. They thought it wasn't weird enough. It was too straightforward. Yeah, I read those opinions, but...
Oh,
I mean, it's still pretty...
Yeah, go ahead, Caitlin.
Oh yeah, it's still pretty weird that the pages say that Laura had a dream in which Annie was speaking to her. That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
They were found in a bathroom door. Like,
Yeah.
that's pretty weird. And look how pristine those pages are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys, if you want to watch something that just means nothing, you can go and watch Inland Empire anytime. It's always gonna be there. All 57 hours of it.
Okay. So yeah, we get the mention of Annie's or Laura's dream about Annie and the message about Dale. So that was something that we knew. But Hawk also says that there's 4 pages missing, and there's still one missing. So obviously this is gonna... I can't think of anything else that we know of that we're waiting for it to come in. So this is probably some sort of new information that they made up for this series.
Yeah. Or they're gonna hold out and see if we can get a season 4.
But the whole timeline of this secret diary in these pages doesn't really make sense, because in the film, Laura takes her Leland rips some pages out, and then Laura takes her diary to Harold for safekeeping, and then she has the dream after that. So, I mean, I guess she could go to Harold's and write it in there at Harold's, but no, because then Leland would have to go to Harold's and rip the pages out from the book at Harold's place.
Maybe she wrote it in the clean fake diary. And there's just pages ripped out of both diaries.
Maybe. Oh well, I can let it go. I don't really care.
Laura Palmer's diaries will never make sense.
No. I like how they're talking here about how, like, the lodges as if they're just, it's a for sure thing,
Yeah.
Oh, Harry saw Dale come out of the lodge.
Yeah.
The lodge.
Yeah, that's still surprising to me. It's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get that Hawk would believe in it, but Frank didn't question that at all. So I guess it's just established that there's these thing called lodges around Twin Peaks.
I mean, I guess you just learn, like, pretty quick, like, when Hawk says something, just to believe it. Because he's always right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go and Frank talks to Harry on the phone again. Yeah, it sounds like bad news.
Yeah.
They keep... I get that, I guess you kind of want to have reference to him if he's not going to be in the series, but I don't know, they just keep doing these phone calls, and I don't...
Yeah. For a second, I thought they were actually going to tell him about the case, but then Harry's like, actually, I'm too tired, and nothing comes of it.
It really makes me wonder, are they... Because I feel like at this point, by the end of this, they're gonna have to either have him die off screen, or we're gonna have, or they've done a secret Skype call.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there's just too much talking about how Harry and how sick he is for us not to either see him or...
Yeah, like you think if they didn't have him and they couldn't use him, they would have just said, "Oh, we died a few years ago."
Yeah. I honestly, for a second, when we see Tom later in the episode, I thought, oh wow, did they recast?
Yeah, there's a lot of sick people in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Log Lady, Harry, Tom. So after the short Harry talk, we go to Andy, and he's talking to the owner of the truck that Richard used to plow that kid over. Oh wait, I forget, Tammy. I forget which stance you have. Is kids dying in TV shows the best thing or the worst thing?
This kid dying was out of fucking nowhere, and it was terrible, and the way he died was terrible. But as a whole, I actually do not want children on TV, so...
Okay, so usually it's the best thing.
That doesn't mean I want to see them get killed.
You want
Except
them
for
to all
that damn
die.
baby in Walking Dead. I want that baby eaten by a zombie and just die.
You want all the kids to die off screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Not hit by a car terribly.
You don't want to
and
know.
bad acting around.
You don't want to know how the sausage is made.
No.
So, okay, so what if the scene had been a car rod sitting on that bench, honk honk, splat.
Terrible.
And then he just runs off.
Oh.
Anyways, Andy's talking to the owner of that truck. And the guy tells Andy to leave. You can't just tell the cops to leave.
Apparently you can tell Andy to leave, because he does. I do have a note that said, Andy, why are you leaving? That dude is acting so weird.
I know.
What's wrong with you?
He's going to meet up with him in only 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if he doesn't actually have any legal cause to arrest him or anything, he's like, okay, he's obviously not going to leave now.
His car was involved in a homicide, or not a homicide. What would you call it? Hit and run, but
yeah,
manslaughter. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe Harry not Harry. Whatever.
Andy.
Andy. Yes. Maybe Andy already knew the guy, and so he's like, I trust him. But
Maybe.
Yeah.
I saw that guy. I wouldn't trust that guy.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways.
But what, they keep sending Andy out to calls. He must have some I can't even say words today. Anyways,
you
must have some sort of.
You can't even stay words today.
Okay. Everyone's just gonna have to translate what I'm saying.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, he must have some sort of reputation with the locals if he just keeps getting sent out into the field to take. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like it. They're making Andy dumb again.
Mm.
I mean, I know he's dumb, but I mean, he has to be somewhat competent at his job in order to keep it all this time, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Then we go back to Frank, and he's Skyping Doc Hayward.
Can we talk about this desk?
Yeah.
I know, it's so retro future.
I love that he has a lever that pulls the monitor up.
It looks like it would be in a 60s movie, yeah.
Yeah, he should be making plans against James Bond with that thing.
I didn't realize till this scene how much I enjoy old people using Skype.
Oh, I loved when he was typing in Doc's username. He's just pecking at the keyboard.
Yeah, it's great.
But it was good to see Doc. I'm sure he was sick as well in real life. I don't think his character is supposed to be, but yeah, this is probably the only way they could get him.
I mean, it is amazing how much footage they have of these people that just at the last minute.
I know.
I was starting to wonder if there was a Twin Peaks curse, you get filmed and then you just die.
Yeah.
Because Oh
Well,
my
I mean,
God.
all these people were old 25 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing that they were still around.
They were holding out specifically for this.
Like, okay, almost at 25 years now.
Yeah, I gotta make it. But all of this would have been alleviated if they had only filmed this show a couple years earlier, so they could actually release it 25 years later. Not start filming it 25 years later, release it 25 years later, start filming it 23 years later.
Yeah.
Like, they would have got Bowie, they would have got everyone, and it would have been fine. So, yeah, the doc on Skype, he relays about the night that Coop came out of the lodge, and he saw him sneak out of his room fully dressed, he saw him sneak out of the intensive care ward, and he figured that he had gone to visit Audrey Horne, who was in a coma, we learned, from the bank explosion.
I mean, I would love to know who else was in a coma from the bank explosion.
Yeah, I think everyone else died, according to the
Yeah.
That's usually what happens though in Twin Peaks is you get a boo boo and it results in a coma. But so people have suggested, I've thought of this and then I saw that other people had also thought of it, because somebody suggested that Richard Horne is Evil Coop's son, and then when they said this, when Doc said this, when Doc said this, I was like, that makes it so much worse if that's the case.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. And then and then when I suggested that, or when other people suggested that, maybe that's where they're going with that. People were like, "There's no way the show would go that dark." I'm like, "This is a show about a father who raped his daughter."
Yeah. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. And considering the whole thing with Diane this episode as well, I'd say that anyone real Coop cared for probably something that evil Coop went after.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
But I mean, it's not a confirmation. We don't even know if Richard is Audrey's son. He still could be Jerry or Ben's son.
I need him to be Jerry's son.
Yeah, he looks so much like Jerry. It's got to be Jerry's son.
Oh, I don't like this idea. I don't even like having this idea in my head.
No, I'm sorry. Doc found fish in his pajamas. Okay. And then he ate them as revenge.
Some real old man jokes going around.
Yeah.
Just two old men trying to use computers.
That was
so
too
great.
good. Yeah.
Then we go to Buckhorn, and Lieutenant Knox comes to check out the prince. What do you guys think of this whole thing?
Weird.
I love Soot Hobo.
Oh, that was scary.
That was something...
Oh, that's what the name was in the credits of the person?
Is it? No.
Is it? I don't know.
I have no
idea. This is what you just dubbed him.
I dubbed him Soot Hobo. But or Chimney Hobo. But it looks like the shot of him just slowly creeping up with that music while she's on the phone, that's like straight out of It Follows. Or something like that.
Yeah. That was creeping me the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm very upset that our coroner's not doing any jokes this week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She ran out of material, I guess. She's gonna go back to the club.
It's very upsetting.
So yeah, it looks like this is Briggs's body, and they weren't expecting that. Any other time, it's just been prints lifted off of something. And it seems like the body is about the age that he was 25 years ago, so it's been in storage somewhere. Who knows? It's hard to speculate on this whole thing.
I still think that whatever Evil Coop did to make Dougie Jones, he's made a bunch of Major Briggs as well, or learned how to do it from making Major Briggs or something. I think that's got to be tied together.
No, it's got to be aliens, Brad. Aliens.
I don't want to say it was aliens, but it was aliens. Then we cut to Gordon Cole in his office alone, whistling. Mel thought maybe that's what he sounds like when he's snoring. She thought maybe he was napping and that was his snore.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I thought he was whistling a Rammstein song, Angel by Rammstein, and then he kind of turns it into a bird trill at the end, but who knows what he's doing. He's weird.
Yeah.
And Albert comes in. What do you guys think of their exchange?
I love Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just so ornery.
Yeah.
I loved him like taking Gordon down a peg here.
Yep.
Yeah.
You heard me.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Mm-hmm. And then like this never happens, but they say they're gonna go see Diane, and then we cut, and they went to see Diane. A lot of that happens in this episode. They say they're going to do something, then it happens.
It's kind of crazy. Like, things are just happening.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
It's
that's
too
why I
much.
like this episode. I don't know.
Yeah.
Diane's boy toy lets Albert and Gordon in.
Yeah.
And Diane's just like, fuck everything.
Yeah.
So, I kind of get the impression that maybe Diane was, like, Coop's handler or the boss or something.
Yeah, handler, I think. Like, he always sent her his reports on tape.
Yeah.
And when he needed something, she'd send it.
Yeah, okay, because when we were watching the series, I always imagined her as more of, like, an administrative person.
Oh. Well, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Anyways, yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
All I know is she received his tapes and she sent him ear plugs one time.
Yeah.
I mean, Gordon does say Cooper was her former boss.
Yeah, so that would make her his assistant, I guess. Basically. Gordon's so happy when he gets that coffee. I love how at first she's like, I don't have any coffee or cigarettes, and she's holding both.
I like how sassy she is.
Mhm.
She's
She's not at all what I expected of a Diane.
I think
Yeah.
that's good.
Coop probably had a special relationship with her, and then also whatever happened with the evil Coop probably took any sort of, like, cynicism she had and, like, multiplied it by 100.
Yeah, I feel she changed. She probably was more cheery before. So yeah, they convince her to go check out Coop, and then they fly in a plane back to North Dakota. And the plane's got like blinky windows. I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what's going on?
I was like, is that just reflections? But it looks like the windows just straight up disappear for frames at a time. I saw some people they were like, I wonder what would happen if you played that on a flute.
What?
That's, yeah.
If you like where the windows disappear, you cover those up with your finger. And
Wow. Oh, I took up my ocarina and I played it, and I think I got like an extra heart in Zelda.
But a black
Cheat code.
Yeah.
So yeah, what do you guys think of all this, the stuff that happens on the plane?
David Lynch touching Tammy is just stop touching her.
He can't not touch her.
Oh my god.
Ugh, creep.
He had to touch her spiritual mound.
Yeah.
Oh,
So gross.
God. It never stops.
No, it doesn't. After
Just when he's doing the whole finger, like, what is he doing? I don't understand. What is that?
he was like referring to the backwards word that Coop said when he greeted him, and the backwards word lined up with the spiritual finger, and the same finger was flipped in the fingerprints. Oh.
YREV. I'm very, very happy to see. What's that? I'm very happy to see you again. That's what he said.
That's what Cooper said, and he reversed one of the varies. He's like,
Oh.
it's very good to see.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's you. You need
Convoluted, yeah.
you need paper and pen to work that out. That's
Well, Gordon worked it out. He's a good detective. Very observant, despite his hearing problems. And we get like a photo of Cooper, badly photoshopped 80s album cover photo.
Yes.
Miami Vice Cooper, basically.
Perfect.
And then what'd you guys think of the scene where Diane's talking to Cooper? I was trying to figure out what was implied here. Like, she asks him when was the last time we saw each other, but he doesn't say when, he says where, so that doesn't help.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's I don't know. My thought is like there's something. Maybe there was some weird, spooky Twin Peaksy type scene with something weirdly paranormal or something that this Coop wouldn't know about.
I don't know. Oh, go ahead.
I was just thinking, like, because I was watching it going, well, I mean, I know he's evil Coop, but it seems like he remembers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know anything that the real Coop. He's living in his body, but I don't know how much of his brain or whatever he knows about what happened in Cooper's past. It just seems like he would know, but
It feels like he knows all of his plans.
Yeah, so then to me that's just not a real question then. Like just asking him about his past wouldn't make a difference.
Right.
Unless
like real Cooper, like I don't know, there's some weird like real Cooper did something in the Black Lodge that was able to communicate or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we would ever see that scene, so I don't think that would be the case either. So
I just don't know what happened between them the last time they saw. It seemed to be traumatic. It seemed to be traumatic, but also this seems to be the first time she's really noticed something wrong with him. Wouldn't she have noticed the last time they saw each other if it was a traumatic experience? Would she have noticed there's something missing in him then?
Yeah.
Maybe his eyes weren't so dead and black and shark-like before.
Well, they weren't
Like-
when he first came out, yeah.
Yeah.
In the last episode.
Maybe he wasn't talking so slowly.
He only talks like that when he's behind the glass, so it's gotta be the glass that makes everyone talk like that.
The glass slows down the sound wave. It's very thick glass.
Do you have any thoughts on that scene, Caitlin?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it kind of, maybe this is just where my mind jumped to, but it was kind of implied, I think, that there's some sort of like almost intimate relationship with them, and that maybe this evil Coop raped her.
Yeah, that's a thought I had as well. Yeah.
Evil Coop's just going around raping everybody.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That was a Bob thing, so yeah.
That was a Bob thing, yeah.
Yeah. It's a David Lynch show.
Yeah.
And then where do we go after that? Coop wants to see, or after that, they go outside and Diane hugs Gordon and says that something's missing inside Coop, which, you know, we all know that. And I'm sure they suspected it before she said it.
I felt bad for her. God, she was like in so much like pain.
Yeah, I think she does a good job, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she almost never talked about whatever happened with Evil Coop, and then it just has finally come out, or it's going to come out now.
Yeah.
I like when she hugged him, and then he's like, not sure what to do. He's like, a woman is willingly touching me.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah, but David Lynch is like, oh yeah, we're gonna need a couple of takes of this though.
Yeah. Then it's a scene of Andy being stood up.
Yeah, this is the scene that was in all the trailers.
Yeah, they had a short clip of this. Yeah. He's being stood up, of course. I mean, what did we think was going to happen? But we do get a creepy zoom into the open door of that guy's home.
Yeah, that guy's definitely dead.
Yeah. I'm just not sure who came after him. He was so insistent that Andy leave.
Now, why did Richard Horne need to borrow a truck to begin with?
We don't know anything about Richard Horne, where he lives, who his parents are, what his job is.
Just know he's an asshole. That's about it.
Yeah.
What if he's not related to the Horns at all?
Yeah, then we go to Coop, wants to see the warden. And he threatens him about Joel McCluskey and Mr. Strawberry. And he blackmails him somehow using dog legs.
Do we know who Joel McCluskey is? Is that just a name?
I don't think so. I think Mr.
Okay.
Strawberry and Joel McCluskey are just names that the warden knows that are connected with some evil deed he did.
All right, just know because I was like, was that the guy that went to jail in the first episode or something that I'm not remembering?
Oh, that was Ray. Yeah.
Okay, Ray. Okay. Didn't get a chance to look it up. Thank you.
I'd like to meet Mr. Strawberry, though.
It sounds like he's dead. They said the late Mr. Strawberry.
Yeah, that's okay. We can have a flashback, I'm sure. What did this warden do to Mr. Strawberry?
Well, when he's talking about the dogs for a second, I was like, oh god, what if Mr. Strawberry's his dog and he's kidnapped?
Oh my god, he could be. That could be the dog.
Yeah.
What a cute dog name, Mr. Strawberry.
So he wants freedom for himself and Ray, and he also wants a friend in the glove department, or compartment, which I assume means a gun, but I don't know why he's coding his words since like there's nobody watching on security cameras or anything.
Well, he's going to be real surprised when he opens the glove compartment and there's another dog.
Coop's just like, oh, puppy! Now you behave or I'll cut off your legs. So I don't expect we'll ever learn about Mr. Strawberry.
No, probably not.
Cooper
Well, I don't know. Mark Frost could knock another book out. We can learn all about Mr. Strawberry.
The Animals of Twin Peaks.
Mm-hmm.
There's another book coming out, isn't there, before long? Yeah.
It's supposed to come out after the series ends, I believe.
Yeah, I bet we learn all about Mr. fucking Strawberry in there.
Time to open up the Strawberry Files. But yeah, the book sounds like it's going to be the book that the first book was promised to be, which is, what happened between season 2 and 3. So then we go and Janie picks up Dougie. Well, she's waiting for him and he's not coming out. He's just drawing on his desk, and Tony's asking about what they were talking about with the boss.
If man sounded guilty.
Yeah. He just looks guilty.
Yeah.
Well, it's Tom Sizemore.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's guilty of everything.
He has no other look. Just his face.
Yeah.
Definitely. This is the right amount of Dougie, by the way.
I know. Yeah, I think we spent about 25 minutes or so in Twin Peaks this episode. It increases each time.
Yeah.
Yeah, half of it was action packed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cops come in and Janie comes in at the same time, and they all chat about Dougie's car.
Yeah.
David Koechner, by the way.
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the detective who introduced himself?
I can't remember his character's name, but that was...
Detective Fusco.
Okay, because then in the credits at the end of the episodes, there were 2 Detective Fuscos.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was weird. Yeah.
There's a Detective D. Fusco and a Detective Smiley Fusco.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's interesting. There's actually a character in Person of Interest who is named Fusco. He was also a detective.
Maybe they're married.
All 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
All 3 of them. Yeah. So yeah, they learn about their car exploding in a roundabout way eventually. And I love how Janie doesn't take any shit from these cops.
Oh, she's the best. I love her so much.
Stop giving us a hard time. We have a terrible car.
Yeah, she used the same line with Lone Shark Muscleman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dummy Coop is lucky to have shown up with her, because he wouldn't make it a day without her.
I know. How would this have played out if she didn't show up?
Yeah.
And
I mean, he would probably have been taken to a hospital to get some help. That's probably what would happen.
Maybe it would have been for the better.
No, because even the people at his job just don't seem to fucking care. It's that part is so frustrating to me.
It freaks me out every time. I get so panicked about it.
Yeah.
Then they go outside and Ike the Spike attacks.
Little bang bang.
Little bang bang. Oh.
I like how he needed to be so close to shoot him.
Yeah.
He's coming up hard and fast.
Yeah, and both Coop and Janie spring into action and beat the shit out of him. Like, complete with, like, GoldenEye judo chop sound effects and everything.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
They're the best team. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just holding Ike down and, like, chopping him in the neck, and Janie's stomping on him.
I think we get an assist from the arm.
Yeah.
Out of the concrete.
Yeah, like rose up and then.
Ugh.
Was that the good arm or the evil arm?
I don't know.
It kind of seemed like the evil arm to me. He's like,
What?
rip its hand off!
But why would the evil arm help him? It seemed to be against him.
I don't know. Squeezing someone's hand off doesn't seem like something that a good Coop would do.
Yeah. I don't think the good arm was that good either, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, yeah, I wasn't sure if Coop has super strength now and he, like, just fused the guy's skin into the handle, or if the arm actually did it and, like, used its electricity powers to, like, charcoal his skin onto it. I don't know.
It's gross.
Either way, I feel bad for, like, the Spike's hand.
Seriously.
And his throat.
But I mean, honestly, he should stick to stabbing. That's kind of his thing.
Maybe his hand's like so damaged he's gonna have to replace it with like a hook or something.
Oh, yes!
Yeah. His brand new stabber is his hand. Well, maybe that's what he tried to do, Caitlin, and maybe that's why he got so close, is because he tried to stab him with the gun.
Little hooky.
Then we go to the Great Northern, and I love seeing the interior here with all the classic backdrop, the paintings, Native American decor. And Ben and his assistant Beverly, who we haven't really seen since second episode. First episode? I can't remember. Yeah, they're trying to find out where this hum is coming from. So what'd you guys think of this scene?
That was a really loud hum.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get shit done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have described it as a hum either. It was
What would you-
it was weird. I can't even remember what it sounds like anymore.
A trill?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a ringing noise. Yeah.
But what do you think that is?
I don't know, the way they kept looking at the lamp and like how the shadow of the lamp kind of had like two peaks, I was like, oh, maybe it's some like ethereal or like some portal or something. And then for some reason I was like, oh, they're staring at wood. Maybe Josie's face is gonna pop out of there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because like they've had weird. After Josie went into the wood, they had a couple in the original series. They had a couple weird things where like one time Ben Horn was just alone in his office and he heard like a similar sound like that. He turns around shocked and we don't get to see what he saw. And then there's another one where Pete seemed to see Josie in the wood. He was like doing a poem or something to Josie and like while staring at the wall. But that's the feeling I got from it too.
It'd be great if she's popped out of the wood there for a second. It's like, hey, I'm back too.
Maybe Ben knew all along that it was Josie, but he was just kind of wanted to get that time with Beverly in there, so he's like, let's play a game.
Yeah.
What if Ben gets a call on Skype and Josie pops up and her handle is like stuck in a wooden knob?
Well, as far as we know, there's no Josie in this series, but did you guys hear about Joan Chen actually wrote David Lynch like a letter in character as Josie, like trying to kind of petition to be on the show?
Ew.
Yeah. Like she wrote it in character as Josie, talking about how she's been trapped in wood and all this time, and she even like brought up Josie's sister Judy, which is a fan theory. So like she's been like doing her research on this Josie Judy fan theory stuff, and like she included all that and wrote David Lynch a letter, but I guess it didn't work.
Ouch.
honestly creeped him out. That's
Shot
hard
down.
to do.
Yeah. I would be like, oh, I was going to call her tomorrow. Guess not.
I would have loved to see her though.
Sure.
Yeah, of course.
I'm looking her up on IMDb now. I'm like, what has she been doing? Is she just hard out of work or something? What's going on?
I don't know. So, what do you think of the relationship here between Ben and Bev? It feels like it's a fairly new relationship, and are we thinking they're flirting with each other or what? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on. It's been a
I
while.
don't want to say it, but I think so. Yeah.
is Ben that kind of guy anymore, or did he? I thought he turned over a new leaf. Who knows? I mean, he kind of dismissed that thought when Jerry brought it up, but still, yeah.
Listen, after Dr. Hayward almost murdered him, maybe all that just went out the window.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. He is the one who's like, oh, well, I've kept you late enough or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
It feels like he's not as skeezy as he was.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's not David Lynch level of creep for sure.
But he's Richard Bamer's still got a good handle on his character. I think he still plays Ben like Ben. He's like,
yeah.
when he picks up those keys, he kind of snatches them up, and and he says like "my dear," and he's always got his like bemused little grin on his face and stuff. He's got the same mannerisms he had, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we got a little more here with the keys. That he remembered that it was the room Coop stayed in.
Yeah. For a moment, I was like, "Is that the end of this keys thing?" But he grabbed him at the end, but I don't know what they can do.
Maybe no one's gone in the room since.
It's haunted.
By Josie!
It's filled with a million little Josie faces coming out of the wall.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
And they bite.
Oh, stop.
So then we
I really want to know what's happened with the Ghostwood Pines.
Yeah.
the development.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever find out. Because I can't remember. Did Catherine get that back last we heard?
I
can't remember.
don't know.
I wonder if we'll ever even hear what happened to Catherine, because she's not supposed to be here either.
Gotta read that book.
Yeah, I guess so. We follow Bev home, and her housekeeper paints a sad picture of her sick husband Tom. He's missing her, he doesn't eat and stuff, and but still, kind of without context of their relationship, it's hard to tell who's being a jerk here.
Yeah.
Like, he could be an abusive asshole, and she's finally free of him. Like, who knows? At first I was like mad at her, but then I thought, yeah, we don't know the background. But I don't know where this is gonna go.
Yeah, I just kind of like, okay, he's obviously ill and dying. Like, either you let whatever irritation it is go, or you let him go at this point. Like, there's no need to stress either of you out. Like, It just seems so terrible for her to be yelling at him, even if he's been abusive. Then, like, you have a job now. Like, go away. Then just don't be with him. Like, because you're just gonna resent him the longer you stay there, and he's gonna die, and you're gonna feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
Nope. And any more thoughts on that scene? Nope. Okay. Then we go to the scene that made me deduct an entire point from this episode. I was enjoying it so much, and then I was like, now we have to watch a guy sweeping the floor for 2 literal minutes.
Yeah. It could have been suspenseful, but I knew that nothing would happen, so...
I was suspenseful waiting for those credits to pop up, but they never did. It feels like this is one of those things that he's like, maybe I'll shoot this and put the credits over it. And then he's like, you know what? I'm going to include the whole thing and not put the credits over it. Why?
Yeah. You know what? I was fine with this just because the rest of the episode, like, more happened in the first 49 minutes of this episode than have happened probably in the last 3 episodes.
I know, yeah.
So I was like, I'll take it. Take it. Fine.
Yeah. But we get to see Jean-Michel Renaud speak.
Ugh. Fucking con man asshole.
Yeah. And he's still trafficking girls, just in the family business.
Underaged.
And underage at that. Still a creepo.
His character and the actor.
It reveals that the Roadhouse has been in the Renault family for generations, and it kind of seems like maybe it's in danger. They're in danger of losing it. I couldn't really tell.
Also, what's happening? Where's Blackie at? Isn't she running the prostitute game?
Blackie? She died.
Oh.
Oh, Blackie did die, didn't she?
Yeah. She got stabbed by Jean.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Someone got stabby.
Yeah. Jean Renault got a little stabby. But her sister, I can't remember her name. Her sister should still be around, unless.
Oh yeah, the one that got punched out of the show.
Yeah, unless she did get punched out of existence. Yeah. Cooper and Ray get out of prison. Not much happens there. They get their car and they get out. And I'm just like, is he gonna kill Ray? It seemed like he wanted to kill Ray before.
I do love the shot when Cooper gets out of the jail cell and there's the light.
Mm-hmm.
Like
at the end of the hall, yeah.
Yeah.
Then we get more trees and spooky wind noises, and again I was happy.
Yeah.
And then we go to the double R, and I was even more happy. And then some guy comes in, and he's yelling, and he's looking for... The subtitles say Bing, but a large group of people on the internet swear he says Billy. But there's a guy in the credits named Bing, and he's played by Riley Lynch, who I didn't see in this episode.
Well, you gotta go back and look for him.
Yeah, there were actually just footsteps outside. You couldn't hear it because it was so noisy in the diner. That was him passing by.
Okay.
It's a clue. Did anyone see Bing? You have to go through the whole episode, and if you spot Bing, you win.
There's something on his T-shirt, and it's like a secret clue to the end of the season. So
Yeah.
First, you have to use your ocarina and play the notes that were projected in the plane.
that's the code to translate the key. Yeah.
Yep.
There was like this weird. Okay, after Coop gets released, did you? Let's see. There's just like that black shot with like a bunch of ambient noises.
Black shot.
Yeah, it was just like the screen went black. Maybe I just couldn't see properly, but I think the screen went black.
Oh yeah, no, it's complete blackout.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was like for quite a significant amount of time, just like a whole transition shot, just black screen.
Huh. When was that? Was that after he got in the car?
Yeah.
Oh no, that wasn't black. That was like a drone shot of trees at night.
Oh.
I think your screen's just too dark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. I'm looking at it on my computer, and yeah.
Okay. Gotta watch this in a complete dark room.
Alright, and then, that's the end of the episode, basically. I already mentioned the whole patrons switching around continuity errors and reuse of Norma footage, but that is the end. So, yeah, I liked it a lot. Tammy, do you have a rating ready to go?
I can make one up. Let's see. I really like this episode, especially because I have not... I mean, I've enjoyed parts of the other episodes, but as a whole, I thought this is a pretty active episode. So I'm going to give this episode... I really liked it. I'm going to give it 8.5 out of 10 Ninja Coops.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I really liked it too. In fact, I love this episode.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Such a strong word.
That's the
Are you ready for that?
That's the first time. That's the first time
this episode.
That's the first time I felt that about this series. But again, I was all ready to give it a 9 out of 10, but then that peanut scene or whatever he's sweeping up. So I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 disappearing diner patrons. Caitlin.
Yeah, this was a really enjoyable episode. Part of my favorite... okay, I'll find the words again. One of my favorite parts of the show has always been like the lore and stuff. So when they got back into that a bit and like we're developing this story, that was really great. So I hope they keep delving into that a bit further in the episodes to come. And yeah, it was super awesome seeing Coop get his fight on. And yeah. So yeah, I don't think we saw any characters that I disliked so far. Actually, do I have any characters I disliked in the new series? I don't think I have any yet.
No?
No. Yeah, Josie's gone, so there's no one else for me to hate.
You hated Josie?
Yeah, I don't think I was a big fan of her. Yeah, I'm gonna give this episode 8.5 cheap beige rentals out of 10.
Cool. Brad.
Yeah, this was my favorite of the episodes thus far. I mean, so much stuff happening and just so many more mysteries. The whole Major Briggs thing is like, I can't wait to see where that goes. And just so much goofy stuff like Doc Hayward on Skype and that table. Like, I can't. It's so great. That creepy fucking guy in the hallway.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just so much in this episode. So little Dougie, like that's great. So much of Hawk solving mysteries. Yeah, I quite enjoyed this. I'll go 8.5 out of 10 mystery bings.
Cool. Well, I'm glad we all finally liked an episode. We're not wasting our time completely. Alright, so we got some feedback. I guess I can start by reading this one from Daniel. Daniel says, I thought this episode was pretty fantastic, almost the whole way through, minus the 2-minute, yes I counted, scene where Lynch laughed his ass off making us watch a guy sweep the roadhouse floor. That lever-operated wood panel literal desktop computer Frank has is amazing. Reminds me of all the delightful hidden compartments everybody had in Season 1. Little Stabby's assault on Lucky 7 insurance was way disappointing compared to the stab fest of fools it could have been.
Seriously.
How does skin from your hand get stuck to the grip of the gun, though? I lost it when the Doctor Who alien arm popped its little head out of the ground to give Coop combat advice. The hilarious photo of Cooper walking along palm trees wearing that white blazer makes him look like he's on the cover of an 80s pop rock singer in the vein of Michael Bolton or something. Steel bars wrapped all around me. I've been in prison since the day you found me. I don't know that song you're referencing. I'm sorry. I really haven't been that worried about how long it takes the good Dale to come out of his Dougie trance compared to how much I wanted to see Bad Dale leave prison and get back to cold stone evil badassery. It's been mentioned before, but I imagine how much more effective Wyndham Earle could have been if Lynch had directed him like this back in Season 2. And he says, Doc Hayward's passing reference to Bad Dale sneaking out of intensive care when Audrey was in a coma is Bad News Bears as well, for sure.
Oh.
Daniel. Thanks, Daniel. I agree. Okay, any volunteers to read this one? This is from Jack.
Sure, I can read it.
Alright.
Hello! Long-time listener. Got through all the old podcasts after I started my first watch of Twin Peaks a few years ago and enjoyed them for the most part. Like that. I learned a lot of information about the show and lore that way.
Okay.
That being said, I'm not sure I'll continue to listen. None of you seem to enjoy the show at all, let alone anything David Lynch touches.
Hey,
Really,
come on. We liked at least 60% of his movies, and we love this episode, so we just
Yeah.
proved you wrong.
Yeah. Hey, I said I enjoyed the first 2 episodes as well, so.
Yeah. It really makes it hard to listen to something when all you do is bash the things we're supposed to be fans of.
Universal law.
We signed a contract.
Oh no, we're not being fans properly. We get it. You don't like Dougie. Stop harping on it. No, fuck off.
I mean, you would stop talking about it if they stopped showing him. That would be excellent.
It was half of the last episode. If we don't talk about it, the episode is going to be very short.
Why doesn't this show fuck off instead? Stop giving me Dougie.
Okay.
Well, we're telling things to fuck off. Hey, Tammy. Aside from the Dougie stuff, it doesn't even seem like you guys are even watching. Some of you even fell asleep.
Who fell asleep?
Who fell asleep?
Did Mel fall asleep?
Mel fell asleep during the book, but that's a different thing.
Mel falls asleep during many things, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Mel's asleep right now.
She thought she was studying, but...
The trailer park didn't move to Twin Peaks. Carl got a ride into town. How was that hard to interpret? Because the town was very far away before.
Yeah, it was
You're spreading misinformation.
So Carl Rod,
you're spreading misinformation that only serves to confuse anyone else who didn't understand it entirely. Oh fuck, we're part of the fake news problem.
Oh no, we have alternative facts.
Oh, damn it! This is why Donald Trump got elected president of Twin Peaks. And the show is about magic spirits and otherworld dimensions, yet you can't believe the telephone pole showed up in a different place? If anything, it's just the same numbers. Or it's the man from another place being an electric tree and all. I just love that sentence out of context.
That's an interesting proposal, though.
Sure.
In this world, yeah, the trees.
Yeah.
People.
Cool. Your hang-ups on little things and blowing them out of proportion is getting to me.
No, I'm sorry.
Poor thing. It's a miracle the show is even back on, and I think you guys went in with your expectations way too high. Okay, I'm just going to take a little break for a second. Because I want to say, again, for the record, is at least, I think the first two episodes, I think I was extremely optimistic of them. And I think it is not bizarre to expect a show called Twin Peaks to be about characters that were in the show Twin Peaks, or to take place in the town of Twin Peaks, or to involve the story from the show Twin Peaks. And for a long period of this new series, that has not been the case. I don't think it's a problem of expectations being too high. I think it's a problem of not what was advertised or could be expected by any reasonable person.
Yeah, I definitely expected more of the original cast, considering before the show came out, that's all that was talked about, is how much of the original cast was part of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, and the other thing I keep seeing is people are like, oh, you just want it to be, you just want them to redo everything again? No. I just expect it to involve either characters of Twin Peaks, and new characters as well, to take place in or around Twin Peaks, or to be in the same style as Twin Peaks, which it hasn't been.
Yeah,
No.
it could be completely new storylines, lots of new characters. I wouldn't care as long as it felt like Twin Peaks.
Yeah. I feel episode 1 and episode 3 especially were so far from Twin Peaks. So, that's not a valid complaint. So, alright, but I'll get back to this nonsense. It's not the same show, and it's very obvious. Yes, the advertising might have been a little misleading, but even after the first 10 minutes, it was obvious this was new and different. So I think you gotta stop complaining about it not being what you thought wanted. After the first 10 minutes of watching the show, it wasn't anything. Yeah, that's... Why should we stop complaining? After you watched 10 minutes, you should have known you were watching a different show.
We're here to discuss our opinion, but apparently only good opinions are allowed.
I think maybe that disclaimer...
Positive opinions.
Yeah, the disclaimer at the beginning of the first recording only applied to that episode. Maybe we...
Yeah, I had a whole fucking disclaimer.
Guy, listen, if you listen to the first 10 minutes of that podcast and you didn't understand what this podcast was, you should go fuck yourself.
All right, I will. God damn it.
Oh, that image is never gonna die for you, Tammy. I love it.
I know. I'm scared of what else will happen to that character this season.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he addresses it right here.
Oh, sorry. And yes, I heard the intro. I'm sorry, I should stop taking a break. But this guy is a real fucking asshole. And yes, I heard the intro on the first episode. Yes, art is subjective, and we all interpret it differently. But you all seem to be reading bad reviews on the internet and regurgitating them. I don't review reviews of anything, for the record.
Yeah.
And everything I've read has been positive.
And I haven't read any either, so. Yeah.
Or you've all become completely cynical.
Become? Yeah.
Did you know us before?
I don't know what you're talking about. Bad CHEI, ellipses, Dougie, ellipses, treating women as objects, ellipses. I love we're just throwing that out like that's not important. Alright,
Yeah,
whatever.
It's fine to treat women as objects, guys.
Oh yeah, just whatever. I mean they're just objects. Like who
Yeah,
cares?
it's, when I wake up in the morning, it's what I look forward to during the day.
Caitlin, I'm talking right now, please.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
This
sorry,
is
lost my
fun.
place. Long drawn out shots, ellipses, Dougie, exclamation point. Do you have anything good to say about the show? We talk a lot about good things we like. I'm sorry that you're so pissed off that we don't like things. I'd be much more interested in just listening to the guest for an hour. Cool, call them up. At least they seem to try and enjoy the show. Oh, fuck you. Try to be more constructive. Don't tell me what to do. You're just tearing the show down, and frankly, I think you got it all wrong. Cool.
I think when I have a problem with something, I explain why I have a problem with it. I don't think I just shit on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if you did, and you didn't explain yourself, who cares? Like, it's still just your opinion. Like, it doesn't. I don't understand this guy's anger. It's so stupid.
It's opinions on a television show.
I'm sure I'm not one of the guests he would want on this podcast.
Well, that's because you're an object.
Oh, well, that's true.
Keep going. The next paragraph is great. Please keep going.
Oh, sorry. Instead of taking notes and trying to find talking points, I think you got it all wrong. Instead of taking notes and trying to find talking points, just watch and enjoy, then watch again and make notes. It almost seems like you're looking for errors or things you didn't like. Also, please stop trying so hard to be funny. It should come natural, and most of the time it does. But all the fake laughter is really obvious and obnoxious.
Oh, man.
Fake laughter. What are you talking about? I hope the show gets better. I hope the show gets better for you guys because I love having something to look forward to on Sunday night. Thanks for your time.
I guess
Podcast over.
it's kind of nice of him to say that he wants us to have good Sunday nights, but
I had a good Sunday night. I liked the show.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why you think we have to be 100% all in order to enjoy the show or talk about the show.
Yeah,
It's kind of a little bit ridiculous.
Overall, like I know I hate number ratings. I hate that we're still doing them. I know for myself, I don't think I've dipped below a 6.
Mhm.
If those don't mean anything, obviously, who cares? But yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about, person.
Anyways.
But I love your angry email.
Yeah,
Please keep
it was
sending
fun
them.
to read. Thanks for that. Do you have one of those audio emails you could play?
Yes.
Audio voicemails, whatever they are.
Hey guys, it's Evan here to offer some terrible snark about episode 7. Ready to piss off the internet again.
Oh, boy.
Because it's never. And I hope you guys aren't laughing right now because this is very serious. And very serious people who have spent years of their lives understanding all of this would like you to regurgitate their own points back to them.
This is the perfect one to play.
That's a part of every episode where the floor pattern makes me queasy. And so I'm kind of happy to see Santa Horn back, but the scene is weird. I don't know what was in that banana bread. Sometimes I put blueberries in mine. I don't think that's what he did, though. Congratulations, Twin Peaks. You turned the guy who thought he was a Civil War general into the straight man. Meanwhile, back in the sheriff's department, it's the name drop scene. I was expecting to hear Dick Tremaine come up in this scene somehow. I like how Frank just is like, sure, whatever. Frank just wants to be out of this meeting right now. Do you know what Skype is, Doc? This is the most old man scene. I mean, how awkward that is. and how much I want Sheriff Truman's awesome desk with pop-up computer monitor like in a fucking James Bond movie. Doc, do you know what a dick pic is? Doc, I'm going to send you an emoji of an eggplant, and I don't want you to read too much into it. Old man typing, just the two index fingers. What I like about Lieutenant Knox is that she is like season 1 Agent Scully without all the warmth. Tammy, why are you the worst? Tammy just keeps getting worse and Gordon just keeps getting better. It's a weird kind of symbiotic thing happening. Here's some analysis. The word that Evil Coop says backwards is the one Gordon just arbitrarily tied to the spiritual mound, which means his spirit is reversed and fingerprint is reversed. I'm going to go write several thousand words on the internet about how important this is. Quit laughing, it's serious. And I also missed the best line in this or any episode of any TV show ever, which is, "Fuck you, Tammy." Because fuck you, Tammy. Gordon clearly hugs him. We have Tom Sizemore's character acting not guilty at all. This is how innocent people act. They follow around the people who accuse them and try to befriend them. A lot of innocent people do that. And then, oh shit, you're gonna make Janie go in there, aren't you? Janie's my new favorite character because she takes no shit. And she's the only henpecking wife who uses her henpecking powers for good. All of the wives on the show are henpecking, but she's the good one. The 3 cops come in and I spent the entire scene trying to figure out what weird quirk the one in the back was going to have, because he's the only one not talking, and this is a David Lynch thing, so he's going to do something. Is he going to just pull out a yo-yo? Does he have like a funny voice? Is he going to like walk on his hands out the door? He's just sitting there looking very serious. But you know it's going to get goofy. You spend the whole scene knowing it's going to get goofy. The guy is distracting, because you know he's the goofy one, because he's the one doing the least. And here's the best scene. Janie's henpecking. Dougie repeats jackpot in the middle of her going off. And little Stabby is upgraded to little Shooty. Matt and I talked about how this attack might happen. Armpelganger shows up to tell him to squeeze his hand off. I had to turn on the captions to get that. Armpelganger is inciting violence against hands. He's an arm who hates hands. And this arm on hand violence affects us all. Yeah, Matt and I talked about this. I said that the fear would snap Coop out of it and he would employ some manner of kung fu. So I was kind of close. I also said it would be the last bullshit for Janie and she would beat him to death, which would have been awesome. I don't have much to say about Ben Horn and the case of the weird noise scene, except that at the end I fully expected him to reach into a secret compartment and pull out a device that was making the noise, and this is just something he does to hang out with young women in their offices. That's a Horn movie. And here's a really long scene of a guy sweeping up peanut shells that you never asked for. I'm just imagining David Lynch dressing this set, because you know he did, and he's like, the peanuts must be just so.
Is that the end?
Boy, this goes on. We go back to the diner, where the biggest mystery in the entire series appears. Nobody has seen Billy. We don't know where Billy is. Billy's missing, and we're done. So that was a good episode. I feel like I'm going to like this series a lot more once it's all done and one whole thing instead of just a bunch of parts. But as parts go, this was a pretty good one. Hopefully I didn't repeat too many of you guys' points that you made during the main discussion. But if I did, then this is the best voicemail ever, because that's what you... I'm a hostile person on the internet, and I'm sorry. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Evan.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Great to hear from you again.
Indeed.
Mel's not here. She enjoys your voice greatly, so I'll play it separately for her. Okay, we got one from Harold. Somebody want to read that one?
I can read it. Right. I would like to give you feedback, but first I would like to take a few minutes to watch a random dude sweep the floor. There was so much going on in this episode, but instead of talking about it all, I will just mention some things I found interesting. I should have mentioned it last week, but it is now 2 weeks in a row that Janie E got in the huff and did this awesome frazzled power walk where her whole body goes up and down and her arms are swinging to and fro, and I just laugh each time she does it. She did it last week after she was done with the 2 muscle guys, and this week when she got fed up waiting for Dougie to appear for his ride. Am I the only one wondering about Michael Onking's health? Is it possible that the reason he suddenly decided to retire had to do with the health issue that they are mirroring in the show?
Oh, I hope not. That would be very unfortunate, because that's happened to a lot of the other actors.
God, I really wanted to see Dougie squeeze little Stabby's hand until it popped right off. Then he could have replaced his hand with a metal spike. Yeah. During that pan into the wall in Ben Horn's office, I was really expecting to see Josie's face.
Yep.
So far, Ashley Judd has been wasted. Why wasn't she cast as Tammy Preston?
Indeed.
Because she wouldn't allow David Lynch to harass her.
Oh.
True that, yeah. So, Doppelkoop went into Audrey Horne's hospital room when she was in the coma. I'm hoping that the prediction that Richard is Doppelkoop's son is not going to come true. I think this mention means that Audrey is going to appear in the next episode.
I hope so.
The highlight of the episode was anything to do with Diane. Of course, Doppelkoop went to see her too. I should have seen that coming. Yeah.
Thanks, Harold.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention a line I liked from Albert when Gordon and Albert were talking to Diane. After like a few moments, Albert mutters under his breath, and I only caught it the second time. He's like, "I didn't even get this far." All right, we got another one. Tammy, do you mind reading a short one?
Okay, I have to move because I can't see
never mind.
from my desk.
It's all right. We can read it.
I have very poor eyesight, guys. Sorry.
I will read it.
Okay.
Hi.
Thank you.
I need to get this off my chest. I went from punching the air yelling, "Yes, Cooper is back," to "What the hell? Get a bigger brush. Oh, make it stop, Lynch." He's talking about the peanut sweeping. I don't need any Lynchian Puritan telling me I don't understand or get his style. I do. I get it, and I like it, but I've been waiting 25 goddamn years for Twin Peaks to return to the screens, and it wasn't for 2.5 goddamn minutes of peanut shell sweeping. But even although I'm a little ranty, I'm glad we are finally getting a payoff. I need more, though, and less sweeping. Thanks, Tracy. Tracy, you just don't get it.
Listen, I'm the only one that gets it because I'm the one that was saying all along that Cooper's a dummy and Hawk's the one that solves all mysteries.
Tracy, yeah, I feel your pain, but apparently we're all alone here. The whole internet's against us. Do you want to play that last audio feedback?
Sure.
And then we got one more after that.
Yeah, it's your British Chris-type lad again. Now, I may be one of the more staunch defenders of the slow pace of this series so far, but fuck me. In comparison, that was like watching The Expendables, aside from like a very long sweeping scene but luckily Green Onions, good tune, so makes it all the worthwhile. And I do wonder what a series could have been like that had pretty much all of the stuff from parts 1 to 6 edited into a feature-length pilot, and then this being episode 2, because I think people would be a lot happier. Mm-hmm. Although I am saddened by the idea that we may never quite find out the 20-odd years of shady Scarface type shit that Evil Cooper's been doing in his amazing Rio mansion. And telly writing isn't the most subtle. I think we probably get some idea of what was meant to have happened on that night, right? But who knows? Much shorter one this week. Last week I kept calling Chad Chet because I think there was some confusion on the podcasts whether it was called Chad or Chet. From now on, I will call him Chad. That's about it. I enjoyed Action Dougie. I enjoyed the Josie noise just coming from everywhere. And still more opportunities for them to move the plot along. Like the key arrived and was like, oh, that was interesting. And Dougie is presumably going to show up on TV at some point now as this have-a-go hero. It would be astonishing if it were all turbo-paced from here on in. I don't think it's going to be, but never mind. Fun, lots of buts, lots of ums. But I recorded this literally moments after the end of the episode. And before I forgot things, and before I had any sleep at all, because it's 3:10 in the morning.
Oh, God.
Bye!
Bye!
Yes.
Thanks, Chris.
Indeed.
Alright, last one. Do you want to read it, Brad? It's from Matt A.
Sure.
Ending with Matt A's emails has worked out in the past, so we'll do it again.
Indeed. Well, gang, for a moment it was like we were back in vintage Twin Peaks land. Conversations about Dale Cooper, Laura Palmer, Annie, the Lodge, 3 ellipses.
At least he spells it out.
He does. This is a conversation I wanted to hear in episode 1 or 2. The dialogue was still very clunky and leaned heavily on exposition, but it brought me back to the original series in a satisfying way. Then Dougie happened again, and once more forced his dim-wittedness upon us. Oh, sure, it was amusing when he unharmed our favorite diminutive psychopath, open parentheses, with an assist from a tiny talking tree, apostrophe close, parentheses. But the scene with the wife, the boss, and the police just dragged and dragged. Everyone oblivious to Dougie's diminished capacity. Please show no more Dougie. Fuck this doof. How funny is it that Diane and I have the same haircut? Amazing. Random thoughts. That unnecessary Skype call. Just the other morning, I caught 2 brown trout in my pajamas. How that got my pajamas, I'll never know. That's my dad's stupid joke about my grandfather. Matthew, your grandfather used to mow the lawn in a Sunday suit. Now, what the lawn was doing wearing your grandfather's suit? Yuck, yuck, slapped knee. The possibly de-aged corpse of Major Briggs, open parentheses, question mark, close parentheses. I'm actually fairly intrigued by what this is all about. It connects to the Mark Frost book. Yes, question mark. I haven't read that book, so perhaps you can enlighten me. No.
We don't know.
No. Also, that book. No. Fun weirdness in the Great Northern with Ashley Judd and a mystery noise. I do not care for her sickly husband, Tom. She doesn't have to justify why she was home late, Tom. You're already a burden on her, both emotionally and financially. Don't be a dick, too. She's Ashley fucking Judd, and you're just some sickly, gross nobody.
Oh, God.
I feel okay speaking for everyone on the podcast when I say, hurry up and die, Tom.
Oh, no. Wow.
I agree. You don't be passive-aggressive just because you're sick. Oh, I'm sick, I'm dying.
Just go ahead and murder your husband already.
Hi. Someone is going to take that scene of dude sweeping floors at the Roadhouse, loop it a bazillion times, then upload it to YouTube as a 12-hour video. It will be pointless, but it will still be more watchable than episode 3. Oh, burn! Anybody seen Bing? No, but I use Bing. Gotta get those free Amazon gift cards. Alright, Matt, listen, it was all funny up until this point, but that's fucking ridiculous. No one's ever used Bing. Okay, that's all. Wow. Made it through the entire feedback without saying something vile about deranged David Lynch fans. Pat yourself on back. Don't worry, we got you covered.
Yeah.
All good.
Fun times. Well, thanks everyone for the feedback. And,
Indeed.
Thanks, Tammy, for joining us.
Super entertaining with some of that feedback. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Tammy, I'm so glad you were on this episode.
We got to say the thing we wanted to say.
Well, yeah, that's true.
We're still going to say it after you're gone. Do you have any podcasts or any projects you'd like to plug?
Sure. I will plug Calavici Fashion Cast, which I am on with Brad and Claire, where we talk about the fashions of Quantum Leap. It's a very niche podcast, but it's fun.
Is it more niche than your belly dancing podcast?
No, actually.
No?
Let me see. No, my belly dancing podcast was not as niche as Calavici Fashion Cast is, because that one I had interviews. There was a lot going on. This is just, like mainly Al Calavici's fashions. So very specific, very focused. And then I am on Defenders podcast with Claire and you and Mel, and it's we're finishing up Iron Fist this week actually, so that's cool. And then we'll be on to the Defenders, which is I'm like just so looking forward to.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, Brad, she stole one of your plugs. Do you want to do your other one?
It's all good. Yes, you can also hear me on the Ramjack podcast, just talking a lot about a lot of different shenanigans. On the most recent episode, what did we talk about on the most recent episode? I'm looking it up. Oh, we talked about Wonder Woman and her suicide. In that film, spoiler alert. As well as some other random things. So check that out. It's good times.
Cool. All right. And Caitlin, thanks for being here.
Thank you. I'm not sportsing today.
Good. I'm glad you're at home relaxing. All right. We'll see everyone next week, and then the week after that, I believe there's a break because of holiday weekend, maybe.
What?
Oh.
I think.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure next week there's an episode, then there's a break after that, but more on that next time. I'll figure it out for sure. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Fuck you, Tammy. I'm sorry. Thanks for listening. Check us out on twitter.com/TwinPeaksCast. Search for the Twin Peaks Podcast group on Facebook, and visit us on twinpeakspodcast.blogspot.com. Email your feedback to twinpeakspodcast@gmail.com.